All right, good evening. Today's January 16th, 2025, and we are going to get going with our meeting. Let's see, the roll call, all board members are present, as are both of our student representatives. And with our report of action taken during closed session. In closed session, the board took action pursuant to Code Section 44940 to place certificated employee identified as SC 24-2501 on a compulsory unpaid leave of absence effective immediately, and directed the superintendent or designee to send out the appropriate legal notices. The roll call vote was 5-0 with 0 noes and no abstentions. All right, Pledge of Allegiance, Dr. Kim.
All right. Thank you, President Peterson. We have a Pledge of Allegiance that's typically provided by a student that is recognized, but unfortunately from Sunflower Learning Center, our student has been called to work, and the student's name is Aylin Godoy. So we just want to recognize the great work Aylin's doing over at Sunflower, and kudos to this person for also being responsible and going to work as well. So in light of that, if we can ask Logan to lead us in the pledge.
Right hand over your heart. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, for the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please sit.
Thank you, Logan. And that'll take us to board awards. Dr. Kim.
All right. This evening and this month, it is Sunflower Learning Center's night. I'd like to call up to the podium our principal, fearless leader, Miss Lisa Rigosa. Please.
Thank you, Dr. Kim. Good evening, President Peterson, members of the board, Dr. Kim, cabinet, and everyone here. Thank you so much for having our Sunflower Night tonight. It's always an honor to come to the board meeting to do this, and I have some wonderful people to recognize tonight, so I will not delay and we'll get started. I'd like to start with our superstar student. Isaac Cabrera is Sunflower's superstar student this year. I'm going to have Isaac come on up and stand next to me. Isaac is a senior at Arrow High School. He's done a magnificent job at Arrow. He went from all Fs when he arrived at Arrow to not only passing all of his classes, but earning the coveted green report card that Arrow has to offer, which is passing with A's and B's and recovering the maximum credits he can for each grading period. He is on track to graduate now. Isaac says he has had newfound optimism at Arrow, and he tells himself every morning that this is going to be a good day. He says he went from being unmotivated and silent to feeling positive and more social. He says he has flourished with the help, guidance, and motivation he has received from the teachers and staff at Arrow. He also says that since day one at Arrow, he has received this support every step of the way, and that's why he feels he's successful. He talks to other students more, and he now has lots of friends. Isaac enjoys the school-wide events at Arrow. He's attended the Thanksgiving feast and various field trips that bring all students together. And he says it has given him a chance to meet people he never would have, and they have become his friends. Isaac is flourishing in the small learning environment that Arrow provides. He feels like a big part of his success is the non-judgmental atmosphere amongst students and staff. Isaac has truly taken charge of his learning at Arrow, and as a result of him doing so, he's doing so well academically. This semester, he is on the Arrow Target track, which gives him a modified school day with some online classes he can work on at home, and he enjoys this new schedule. He has earned all of the incentives this year because of his academic performance. After high school, Isaac would like to attend school for animation. Art is his passion. He also writes scripts in his free time. His artistic talents take up a lot of his free time. With his focus, talent, and will, he will undoubtedly do very well in life. Congratulations, Isaac.
Come on up, Isaac. We're going to have pictures with a board.
Yes, please do. Oh, he's not in here. Yes. Siblings too, everybody. Yeah. Good, how are you? Thank you.
Hey, Ms. Ragosa, please, if you can introduce your partner in education, the Diaz family.
I'd like to bring up the Diaz family are our partners in education this year. And there are 8 of them total, but 3 representatives today, and maybe Ms. Diaz will join them too. It's up to her. So I'm gonna have Samantha Diaz, Elijah Alamo, and Kevin Garcia, please come on up. So the Diaz family, like I said, are our partners in education. Hear me? The quality of these incentives. The Diaz family, who are Liz Diaz's, one of our teacher leaders on campus, relatives heard the need for our December holiday waffle breakfast event. And out of their own goodwill and kindness, and without being asked, provided all the food, decorations, games, and prizes, and all supplies to make the event absolutely spectacular. Students dined on homemade waffles, hash browns, sausage, juice, hot chocolate at beautifully decorated tables, and then played fun holiday games. It was such an uplifting event for these deserving students. If you'd like to see this event, it's on our Arrow Instagram. The Diaz family is so generous that they also bought our supplies and food for our January incentive, which is a movie event in the cafeteria with motion picture and movie style food. We are so grateful to the Diaz family for their generosity in giving to our school and making a difference for our Arrow students who are working so hard. These events would not have been possible at all without them. Our entire school community thanks them and feels so grateful. They are truly Arrow's partners in education. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much.
Okay, next that'll take us to our student representative reports. Logan, if you'd please.
Good evening, Mr. President and members of the board. Yesterday was Advisory Day at Arrow and Bridges. Students went over their grades on their semester 1 report cards. Students also reviewed all credits earned toward graduation. Students that had green report cards, 90% attendance, and 25 attendance improvement earned a movie incentive that will take place on January 22nd. We also filled out a student survey on school activities and school climate. Students transfers. Sunflower had a great success helping students make their credits so they can return to Charter Oak High School. Between all 3 Sunflower schools, 19 students transferred back to Charter Oak High School for spring semester. WASC. Arrow High School is preparing for WASC in March. The visit is on March 17th through the 19th. The team will visit classrooms and meet with staff, students, and parents, and also district administrators. Thank you for giving me my report.
Thank you, Logan. Azuri.
Good evening, Mr. President Peterson and Board of Trustees, Dr. Kim, and Executive Cabinet. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to share all the amazing things happening at CO. Charter Oak High School returned back to school on Monday, January 6th, and has had no past events since our last meeting. But here is my second winter sports update. Boys basketball is 3-13. Boys soccer is 1-9, and they tied 1 game. Girls basketball is 9-4. Girls soccer is 4-6. Girls water polo is 0-5. And here is some upcoming events. Charter Oak Drama Department is holding auditions for their spring production Newsies on January 21st. We have an academic awards assembly on Wednesday, January 22nd, where we expect to recognize over 500 students for their academic achievements, as well as perfect attendance from their first semester. Also on the 2nd, Ms. Archer will be hosting a meeting for students and parents that are interested in Charter Oak's IB program. Our counselors will be hosting a parent registration night on January 30th. And on February 1st, there will be a remembrance walk at the Lou Farrar Stadium from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. in honor of loved ones and support student scholarships. Thank you, and that concludes my report.
Thank you both. We appreciate it. I'll take us to ROP report. Mr. Rose.
First of all, I want to thank Flores for serving on the board for ROP. Thank you for your service there. Let you know that the ROP will have a new board, new faces. It will consist of 3 new board members, including myself, and 1 returning, and 1 fairly new, and he's also returning. So that the new faces of the board on ROP. Then the budget is good shape, and we're still working on it, and it's going to be, we're going to be fine there because the program is up and running, and it's going to be a fantastic semester. So I have a meeting next Thursday in Glendora. So the next board meeting, I will give you a better picture of what's going on OP. That's all.
Thank you, Mr. Rose. Okay, superintendent report, Dr. Kim.
Thank you, President Peterson. Happy New Year to this board and Happy New Year to our charter community. Excited about my venture and stepping into this role and really using the season, as I've shared to our stakeholders, our parents, our leaders, our teachers, as an opportunity for me to listen and to learn about the great things that are happening here at Charter Oak Unified. But more importantly, as a leader, how do I make sure that I'm learning about the things that we're doing and refining and improving our practices here for the sake of our students? And so this season is really an opportunity for me to listen, learn, and lead. And so looking forward to the next 100 days through our spring break and gathering some really good information and continuing to move our school district forward. With that, I'd be remiss if I didn't share, obviously, our well wishes, our hearts, our sympathies are with all those that have been truly impacted by the Eaton Canyon fires, obviously, and as well as the Palisades fire. This is very concerning times. We've had our own staff members severely impacted through this. We know that these are challenging times. We are so thankful for our first responders. We know that there's still ongoing work that they're doing to ensure that people are safe and returning. I do want to commend our school and our staff. We did have same challenges, not obviously as severe as other districts, but the challenges we faced last Wednesday as it related to the windstorm. Kudos to our staff, from our maintenance and operations to our classified staff through and through, to our certificated staff, in making sure that our facilities were welcoming and open and safe, and we were. We had neighboring districts that lost power, and we were fortunate enough not to lose power. We had nearly an 80% attendance rate on that date. And so we knew that this was proof that we had a safe and welcoming environment for our kids, and our kids didn't need a place to go. So again, I want to thank all of our staff for their response related to that. While Sunflower is still here, I want to give kudos to them because they actually had, prior to the winter break on the Wednesday, whereas many people were trying to wind down towards the winter break, they were winding up because that Wednesday, prior to their departure, they had a visit from the California Department of Education as a confirmation visit or validation visit as a model continuation school in the state. Now, we don't have the results yet, but we already know for certain that they are a model school. There's incredible work that's doing. Students like Logan, students like Isaac that we shared tonight, we're just so proud of their accomplishments, and we're proud of the ongoing work we're doing. So we want to give applause to Ms. Lisa Ragosa along with her entire staff. And lastly, absolutely. And lastly, January, if you didn't know, board, I'm not sure if you guys know, this is Board Appreciation Month. So I appreciate you. We appreciate you. We know the community appreciates you guys. So thank you for all you guys do in service to our students. With that, that concludes my report. Let's give them a clap.
All right, thank you, Dr. Kim. That'll take us to our presentations. Audit report for fiscal year ending June 30th, 2024. Dr. Kim?
All right, thank you, President Peterson. I'd like to introduce Krill Bradford to introduce our guest here tonight, and she is going to prepare our presentation on the audit report for the 23-24 school year. Ms. Bradford.
Yes, thank you, Dr. Kim. Good evening, Board. I am pleased to introduce Monique Manzo. Monique is the audit supervisor with Christy White, our audit firm, and she will be presenting an overview of the 23-24 audit process as well as the results. Thank you.
All right, good evening, and thank you for having me. Again, my name is Monique Manzo. I'm a supervisor with Christy White. I'd like to start off with a little overview of the audit process and procedures and end with our opinions over the district's financial statements as well as state and federal compliance. So overall, our audit covers a broad range of areas tested at different times during the year. During interim, what we call interim happens during the springtime. We focus on internal controls and state compliance. So here we test the design and effectiveness of controls to prevent, detect, and correct misstatements due to fraud or error. Over financial processes such as your purchasing, cash disbursements, cash receipts, payroll. So from each of those processes, we're looking at all sorts of transactions and testing those controls. We also complete audit procedures published in the annual LEA State Audit Guide. So whichever procedures are applicable to your district. Specifically for 23-24 year, as you all know, Proposition 28 and the Expanded Learning Opportunities Program was new for your district and both at the audit level. Because the district expended more than $750,000 in federal funds, we were required to complete a single audit, which includes testing of internal controls and program compliance. So for 23-24 school year, we looked at your special education program. And then we come back again in the fall after you all approve your unaudited actuals. And here we're really focusing on account balances. So we're looking at your balance sheet items. We're also looking at capital assets, your long-term debt, as well as revenues and expenditures. Throughout the audit, the district and the auditor have different responsibilities. So the district's management's responsibility is to design and implement effective internal controls over your financial processes, as well as the preparation and fair presentation of your financial statements. These are your financials. The auditor's responsibility, our responsibility, is to obtain reasonable assurance that financial statements are free from material misstatements, as well as providing opinions over your financial statements and state and federal awards. Our opinion does not address the financial condition of the district. Apologies for that. So there was a restatement of prior year net position of about $4.5 million to both government activities and your internal service fund. This seems to be a result of closing the workers' compensation JPA. So this was an increase recognized as equity to the district. Lastly, I feel like this is everyone's favorite page. It's a table on page 87 of the printed report. It summarizes the auditor's opinions as well as the audit results. So first opinion we give is related to the financial statements. We issued an unmodified opinion, which is the best audit opinion possible. So great job on that. There were no any material weaknesses or significant deficiencies identified while we were, looking at internal controls or reviewing your financials. Next is federal awards. Issued an unmodified opinion there as well. Again, we looked at your special education program. No material weaknesses or significant deficiencies were identified there. And lastly, state awards. So looking at those state compliance areas. Another unmodified opinion, no material weaknesses or significant deficiencies were identified there. I just want to give kudos to your team implementing that ELOT program because that was a difficult program for most. So good job on that. This concludes my review and overview of the 23-24 audit. To give a special thanks to Kirill and her team and the site personnel that we visited. Everyone and hard work fulfilling all our requests. So thank you again. Are there any questions?
Do we have any questions from the board? David?
I have a question. I just want to know how long your firm worked with us. How long your firm worked with us? You be serving us. You remember?
I want to say this might be the third year.
Yes,
The 3 years.
third year,
So that's 2021.
I believe, 21, 22, 20, yes.
Okay. Mr. President, I would like to request a document, the audit report from the year 2017 to 2019. Not from the firm, looked like it's from a previous firm, and I'd like to have the reports from 2017 to 2019.
Great.
That's all, thank you.
Any other questions? All right, ma'am, thank you very much for your presentation.
Of course. Thank you for having me.
Okay, that takes us to public comments. Any cards? No cards? No cards, and we'll move on to action items. Item 14, business services, acceptance of audit report for fiscal year ending June 30th, 2024. Can I get a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Can I get a second?
I'll second.
Okay, any discussion? No? Okay, go ahead and call for the vote. Mr. Rose?
Yes.
Ms. McGuire?
Yes.
Mrs. Flores?
Yes.
Dr. Aguilar?
Yes.
I'm a yes. Logan?
Yes.
Missouri? Yes. Okay, motion passes 5-0 with both student reps in affirmative. It takes us to item B, educational services, school accountability report card. Can I get a motion to,
So moved?
can I get a second?
I'll second.
Mr. Rose, second. Any discussion? Okay, I'll go ahead and call for the vote. Mr. Rose?
Yes.
Mrs. McGuire?
Yes.
Mrs. Flores?
Yes.
Dr. Aguilar?
Yes.
I'm a yes. Logan?
Yes.
Missouri?
Yes.
Okay. I'm. Okay, that takes us to Human Resources, item C1, approval of Assistant Superintendent of Educational Services. Can I get a motion?
I'll move.
Can I get a second?
I'll second the motion.
Okay, Dr. Kim, you have a recommendation.
I do have a recommendation. I am recommending Dr. Fayrouz Mustafa for the position of Assistant Superintendent of Educational Services.
Do we have any discussion? Mr. Rose?
She had a PhD in what?
She has a doctorate in education from the prestigious University of Laverne.
Oh, Laverne.
Any other discussion? Okay, I'll go ahead and call for the vote. Mr. Rose?
Oh, yes.
Ms. McGuire?
Yes.
Mrs. Flores?
Yes.
Dr. Aguilar?
Yes.
And I'm a yes also. Motion passes 5-0. Dr. Kim?
If I may, congratulations to Dr. Mustafa. She has well over 20 years of experience in the K-12 field, both in secondary and elementary schools. She's an accomplished leader. She has credibility, trust in our school district. She's had great work through and through, and we're proud of what she's accomplished, and we look forward to good work ahead from her under her leadership.
And with that being said, pursuant to Government Code, Section 5-4, oh, I'm sorry, let me go to the next item first. Approval of an employment contract. Can I get a motion? Oh, okay. Actually, we're moving on to item 2. Approval of employment contract, Assistant Superintendent Educational Services. Yeah, okay. Pursuant to Government Code Section 54953, Subdivision C3, the board provides this oral summary of the salary and/or fringe benefits payments provided by or to the Assistant Superintendent by way of the pending employment contract. The term of the new employment contract between the district and the Assistant Superintendent of Educational Services, Dr. Fayrouz Mustafa, is from January 17th, 2025 through January 16th, 2028. The new annual salary to be paid to the Assistant Superintendent of Educational Services is $201,637 per year, which is step 7 on the management salary schedule. And the other elements of compensation in the contract includes 24 days of annual vacation, 14 days of sick leave per year, district payment towards a health benefit package in the same amount as other full-time district management employees, and $1,000 per fiscal year for incurred expenses not covered by the health benefit package. Group life insurance in the amount of $50,000 as stated in the management salary schedule, and district paid dues for the assistant superintendent's membership dues in the Association of California Administrators and other service organizations provided by the board, or approved by the board. Oh, the last one. Good thing you're there, Denny. Reimbursement for actual and necessary expenses. All right, with that being said, can I get a motion to bring that forward?
I'll make the motion.
Second?
I'll second.
Okay, any discussion?
Hi, can you explain, is this a standard agreement, Dr. Kim, that every person gets?
The assistant superintendent salary schedule is fixed on the management salary schedule. So this is standard to what we've experienced with our prior assistant superintendents, including myself in my prior position.
Thank you.
Any further discussions on that? I'll go ahead and call for the vote. Mr. Rose?
No.
Ms. McGuire?
Yes.
Mrs. Flores?
Yes.
Dr. Aguilar?
Yes.
And I'm a yes. Motion passes 4-1. Now I'll take us to the consent calendar. Is there any items that need to be pulled? B1? B1? Any others? Okay, can I get a motion to pass consent calendar for all items except for B1?
So moved.
Second?
I'll second.
Okay, and I'll call for the vote. Missouri?
Yes.
Logan?
Yes.
Mr. Rose?
Yes.
Mrs. McGuire?
Yes.
Mrs. Flores?
Yes.
Dr. Aguilar?
Yes.
And I'm also a yes. Motion passes 5-0 with both students in the affirmative. Which will take us to item number B1, overnight field trips. Can I get a motion?
So moved.
Second?
I'll second.
Any discussion?
I just want to call out, this is a great opportunity for students, and I think it's wonderful that we're actually showing the students some hands-on projects. What class is this for?
This is through our CTE programs. Eligible students through the engineering pathways are attending this trip.
Fantastic.
Nice.
Nice job.
I think it's great. We should do more of these.
All right, I'll go ahead and call for the vote. Missouri?
Yes.
Logan?
Yes.
Mr. Rose?
Yes.
Mrs. McGuire?
Yes.
Mrs. Flores?
Yes.
Dr. Aguilar?
Yes.
And I'm a yes. Motion passes 5-0 with both student reps in the affirm. And that'll take us down to board comments. Mr. Rose?
Thank you. Just wanted to wish everyone a Happy New Year. Happy New Year, and for the seniors, 5 months left of school. Keep up the good work and finish all the assignment. Do what you're told, get a good grade, and move on with life. Looking forward to your graduation down the line. I attended the CSBA ethic workshop, and I learned quite a bit. It's amazing how the law is explicitly clear about board members' conduct at the meeting, in the meeting. So what I'm saying is, not naming names, but if there is an issue raised by a board member concerning the voting on a contract, then I was told that a board member can ask for legal counsel with the consent with the rest of the board members. So what I'm saying is, if there are the issues that raise concern regarding the voting on the contract, for example, with me, I have the right to ask for legal counsel, because the purpose for the board member to ask for legal counsel is to get a clear guidance from the firm whether a board member violates the law or not. That's the only purpose for seeking legal counsel, to seek clarification. I did not get that. I was denied an opportunity to seek legal counsel regarding Jeanette Flores' conduct back in 2018 when she voted to send a check to her company she worked for. So that is the issue that already been settled, but now that we all know that if there's an issue regarding the conduct of a board member, a board member can seek legal counsel. That's one. I wanted to reiterate, I'm looking forward to be on the ROP. It sounds good and it's very exciting. I had an opportunity to introduce myself with Dr. Downey, and she's she's wonderful. She's been there for 4 years, and she told me that she's looking forward to working with me and the other board members next Thursday. I want to thank the audit firms who presented the report, and I want to thank, I have full confidence in that every time we get a report that Carell Bradford and his team all her team, not herself, the entire team, have worked diligently to make sure that the procedures are followed and that action by the team are following the guidelines as provided by the state in California, and that we should commend them for the wonderful job working together. And I want to thank Dr. Kim for taking the leadership role as the next superintendent. Looking forward to work with you starting today and onward. I'm looking forward confidence and trusting you in your ability to lead Charter Oak in the next 4 years. Welcome aboard, Dr. Kim. And the sports, hope you guys keep up the good work with the sports. And the record's kind of tough, but hopefully, I know all those losses and all those, and I'm thinking, oh my gosh, you know. But don't give up. I'm sure the students are happy to play, have an opportunity to play, and that's more important than anything else. Keep up the good work, and thank you, Mr. Peterson. Back to you.
Ms. McGuire?
Happy New Year, everyone. So happy to be here. It's a new year, new beginnings, time to work on new things and moving forward. Yes, shout out to CO Sports. We try our best and we have fun, you know, and that's what's important. January, tons of observations. One of my favorites is that it's National Soup Month, and I love soup. But also, it's National Blood Donor Month, which is really important, especially if you are a type O person, so that we can make sure that we provide blood for all the folks who need it, especially in times like this where we are seeing a natural disaster in our own community. We're having fires all over SoCal, but we are hit close to home with the Eaton fires. Also, the windstorms that impacted a lot of our families and even some of our campuses. So while we want to make sure we keep everyone in our thoughts and prayers, it's also important to match that with action and dollars. So if you can donate to a fund that helps support these families, please do so. Or if you can donate your time and go volunteer at many of the centers that are providing food and resources and shelter to these families, that would be amazing. We are still in my favorite season of the year, which is FAFSA season. And so I learned something new about the FAFSA. Is it possible? Yes, it is possible for me to learn something new about FAFSA. In California, I don't know if you have fallen victim to like identity theft or your health insurance was compromised or anything like that. They have stolen the identities of our children and used it on FAFSAs. I just learned this recently firsthand and gotten financial aid at schools in your kids' names. So if you have 16 and 17-year-olds, when they send you that information to get the free credit reporting, do it for your kids too. I recently had to go through that during the break. I also want to say welcome, Dr. Kim, your first go around as superintendent. I think you did a great job. Or okay, good enough, good enough. Welcome, Dr. Feiruz, in your new role. It's exciting to work with you all in this capacity. Also, quick story, our students were invited to participate in a Rotary speech contest from Charter Oak High School. And even though we got our invitation kind of late, our two girls went. They represented our school district very well and placed in first and second. With a week's notice, because that's how we roll in Charter Oak. And also, you guys might know the winner. Her name is Azuri Valentine. And last, before we go, I always want to shout out a passing audit. That is something that is really important, and we love to see, because that means that we are doing the appropriate things with our public dollars. And so I'm really happy to have yet another passing audit. Congratulations to you, Kirill, and all of your team. Thank you.
Mrs. Flores?
Happy 2025. Welcome, Dr. Kim. You survived your first meeting. Did he do a good job? Flying colors, great. Congratulations. Also want to take this time to thank our first responders that have been working on the fires. My daughter is dating a first responder, so close to our heart, and we just encourage you all to please support communities as you feel best equipped to do so. Also, please go watch Shrek Jr. And I do have those dates. Royal Oak Middle School is putting another amazing production together. So we have February 1st and 8th. Make sure you buy your tickets. Also, a big thank you to the Diaz family. Thank you for supporting our children, our schools, and just going above and beyond. So thank you. Thank you. We appreciate you very much. And Carol Bradford, I think you have a cape behind your coat because you're just a rock star, and I really appreciate all that you do to ensure that we are fiscally solvent. You're always spot on. I don't know how you do it. You have magic. So thank you very much for your work and your dedication, and we really couldn't exist without you. So thank you very much. We very much appreciate your work. Congrats to Zuri. You're awesome. Will you read your speech next time? All right, okay, well, keep us guessing, thank you. And thank you both for the great reports that you give. We really appreciate you being here and just having the student voice, so thank you both. Congrats, Dr. Mustafa, when did you finish your doctorate? Wonderful, congratulations, well, yay. Congratulations and thank you, and we look forward to working with you, so. Let's have a great year, and yes, keep our sports team in your thoughts. The basketball team's tied currently, I believe, right, Mr. Dultz? So cross your fingers. Thank you, everyone.
Dr. Aguilar.
Thank you. Yeah, I'd like to second so much what my colleagues have discussed so far. Of course, the disasters has been very difficult, affecting so many people directly and also indirectly. But it's been wonderful to see the community come together and support one another. And that's been fantastic, including right here in the Charter Oak community as well. So thank you for everyone for banding together and continuing to look for ways to be of service and help, and that's always very important. Continuing with the congratulations, of course, again, Dr. Kim, welcome aboard. It's our first official meeting with you under the superintendent banner, and it's been wonderful already a few weeks in, and it comes with its challenges every day, but we're glad to see you continuing to push forward. Congratulations, Dr. Mustafa. I get a chance to go on many site visits. Luckily, my schedule allows me to go on site visits oftentimes and join some of the administration. And I get a chance to see firsthand the activities of our administrators, of our cabinet, and Dr. Mustafa often there in her director role previously, supporting the education of our students right there, getting to know all of our teachers, getting to know all of our students, and making sure they're well supported. So I'm really excited to see her now elevated into this next assistant superintendent role as well. It'll be fantastic. With that, I just want to share my appreciation of my colleagues, my fellow board members, as Dr. Kim mentioned here in January in Board Appreciation Month. It's a very rewarding position. There can be a lot of fun with it. Certainly comes with a lot of challenges as well. And it's been a pleasure serving alongside of you for these past 4 years. So thank you.
All right. Happy New Year. Yeah, it's 2025, yeah. Congratulations, Dr. Kim. We were talking earlier in the week, his first few days was dealing with all the tragedy and fires, et cetera, that were going on in a little bit west of us. But he was all over it. He was making sure that our kids were ready, our staff was ready, our schools were ready to receive the kids. We had several conversations about it, and one of the things when we brought Dr. Jordan in, his first couple weeks was COVID. Yeah, and this is a test. It's a test for you, and you passed. Good job. Thank you. But welcome, sir. Looking forward to serving with you. Winter sports, yeah, the records aren't the best in the world, but that's not because of lack of effort on both the students and the coaches, because I know they're out there pushing it. I've been to a wrestling match, and I saw the soccer the other day, and I haven't been to a basketball game yet, though. I haven't been to a basketball game. So there, I'll get to one. But it's not from lack of effort. The kids are trying hard, and the coaches are too. So I appreciate all the efforts from everybody over there. In regards to the fires, the first responders, I have several friends who are involved in that. They're out there protecting the houses from looters, et cetera. But Kyle Jordan, which is Dr. Jordan's son, has been in the middle of it all the firefighting. He's a firefighter out in Arcadia, and he's been working nonstop. He's safe. He said it's been an adventure, but he's doing well, and we're fortunate that we have so many people who are willing to get involved in the public service component of things. Dr. where's Feroz? Congratulations, ma'am. Looking forward to working with you and your leadership and continuing on for many years. We saw the contract. With that being said, our next meeting is February 6, 2025, which is going to be a board study session of our mid-year review. And we will go ahead and end this meeting at, what time is it? 7:26.